What's going on? You're listening to the Waffletop Podcast. My name's Paolo, the biggest talker.
Yeah, it's Donnie Darko in the building. Yeah, that's who's in the building right now.
Cool.
All right, cool.
Got a very special guest of us today. Does great work in the community. If you haven't heard of his stuff, you will after this interview. Obviously, we got Verrall. Welcome on. What's going on? You right?
Good, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, man.
Like I say, if you don't know about what this guy's been doing, obviously we'll let him explain as well in due course. But he obviously, as I'd probably say in the last few months,
Yeah.
would you say?
Yeah, months. Say about
Just-
4 or 5 months now. It's coming
Just gone, changed everything.
up. Yeah.
Doing homeless runs for people,
Yeah.
and I think making people realise having a different outlook on homeless people.
Mm.
Like, and you say you've changed a lot of people who actually join your cause now as well after watching your videos.
Yeah.
Did you always have the same outlook growing up, or was it a thing of you kind of realised and then you was like, you know, you wanted to do better, or was you always that way?
I think it's one of them things where, especially England, it's like a rat race. It's literally, you know, as much material things as you can accumulate through life, cars, houses, whatever. You kind of get caught up in it, and then you forget about people that need help.
Mm.
So I think for me, is as I got older, I started to become despondent from it, not actually look at it as a problem, because you're like, for yourself, you know, whatever you can go out and get for yourself through education, through money or whatever, you do. So you do become despondent from people who don't have as much as you.
Yeah,
That's
good
it,
though,
really.
it is a reality of it, and you know, obviously everyone's probably encountered homeless people at some point. I suppose you don't really look at it properly until you see stuff like that.
Yeah, of course, definitely.
And you know, there's nothing wrong with admitting that you was wrong for doing something in the past and maybe ignoring it, or you know. But when you started this up, what made you start it up? So what was the thing that said, right, I'm going to do this?
I think as humans, we've always got this feeling of, especially when it comes to Christmas time, we've all got this feeling of like giving back. You know, you've had a good year, everything's been productive, you've got peas and whatnot. So you do have this kind of burden of guilt in a sense that you've had a good year, and you have that, you know, that you encounter that problem where you get to Christmas Eve, and you're like, oh, do you know what? I've got all these presents, I'm in a giving mood, let me go out and help people in my community and stuff. And for me, that happened. Obviously through COVID being last year, I went from like 30 members in my team of riders to like 168. You know, so everything boomed for me last year.
That's just to interrupt you a minute. That's obviously because before you was doing this, you had your riding as well, the cycling that you was doing. So that another community thing that you was kind of putting together, and that's probably come off. That was always, when I spoke to you before, and always have done. That would that's always come off. But would you, like I say, you probably got more members joining now than ever.
The members are mad. Like my team literally were on 243 people are signed up now. You know, and that's
All young ones,
not young ones, like
Mixed.
adults,
Mixed.
mixed. It's all mixed, different.
That's good, man.
Different cultures and stuff. It's wicked. I mean, just like a bit of background so you guys and the viewers understand what this riding thing is. So I run a company called C86ERZ, and obviously my background's graphic design. That's what my degree's in. So with any streetwear brand, i.e. Adidas had Run DMC, Nike started off with Olympic shoes, Jordans, obviously basketball. I picked C86ERZ to be with mountain biking, you know, because that's why predominantly I'd lost all my weight, got rid of anxiety through biking as well. So I kind of it made sense to be within that target market. So that's how I ended up with that volume of riders, which was the 30 beginning of last year. And obviously through going through lockdowns and stuff, people were starting to see through social media that me and my squad were still having fun. We were still going on rides. We were still going to bike parks and whatnot. And when that Christmas Eve kicked in, and I felt to give back, obviously I'd have been around my team for that whole duration of the lockdown. You know, because everything was on lockdown, you couldn't do nothing.
Yeah.
So I felt even more in a family environment with them. you know, because I was talking to them every day. Because that's all we had to do, in a sense. So we organised the ride out. We fed 150 people in one night across London.
Swear.
Yeah. So we had cargo bikes out. All 3 cargo bikes had, you know, one had water, the other one had sandwiches, the other one had like fruit and crisps and stuff like that. And literally we were riding out to all these different boroughs, you know, Islington, Strand, like all through central London. It was sick. But obviously because of lockdown, there was no cars on the road.
So the ride was even better then, basically.
But it was one of them things where when we got to South Bank, we saw like along South Bank was full of tents underneath the bridge. Full of tents. Yeah. So we pulled up. I've got off my bike. My boys are watching my bike across the road. And I remember going up to a tent. If I ever met this woman again, I don't even know what I'd do. I'd just give her a massive hug, man. Because I walked up to a tent, literally, and I had some food, had some brown bags in my hand. Like we pre-made the packed bags. Yeah. And I mean, walking up to the tent and saying to the person in the tent, you know, is anyone in there? Would you like some food? And I remember seeing a person unzip it, and this lady popped her head out and she looked up at me, and I was like, "Would you like some? Are you hungry? Would you like some food?" And she said, "Oh, like yes, please, but not sure, you know." So I said, "No, it's fine." You know, I showed her the cargo bags and stuff like that with all the food and told her what we were doing. So she then understood what was going on. Okay. And I gave her the bag and I said, "Are you cold?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm cold." So I remember going back to the cargo bag and taking some gloves and a scarf out. And I think I had a hat with me as well. And I walked back towards it and I gave her the gloves first. And she literally took the gloves in her hand and literally held them and brought them to her face. She started crying.
Ross.
Yeah. And for me, obviously with it being locked down, everything just felt like it was on pause. You know, she's crying. I'm looking at it and I'm feeling a bit sick inside because I know my bike's over $2,000. You know, I'm talking about a pedal bike. And my brakes for my bike are free bills each. You know, so for me, it was that encounter. I'm saying to myself, "Rah, everything I've been working for and doing what I'm doing is for self." You know, these people haven't existed in my world. You know, so I remember going back, you know, to the edge of the pavement. She was behind me, and I remember calling my squad and saying, "Hey, you look, come." So I said to them, "What are we really doing out here, man?" So they're like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "They're like, we're helping." I was like, "No, but seriously, it can't just be for now. Like, we can't just do this now. This is a joke thing." So then some of them were like a bit confused. I was like, to turn your empathy on come Christmas and to see this, I don't know how you turn it off again. You know, because a lot of people, they will help at Christmas and whatnot, or some kind of celebration or something. But then come New Year's, it's like, right, I'm going to start going gym. Right, I'm going to lose weight. Right, I'm going to get a new career. And they forgot everything they did that 1 week before. You know? So for me, I said to my squad, look, this is something I can't let go. Like, these people need our help. This is an absolute madness to know that people are out here crying for 50p gloves. Like, it's just nuts, bro.
That's mad. Shit.
Yeah, what do you think, Donnie?
I don't know, that's mad, bro. I wouldn't know what to do in that predicament. Can't lie.
And it got worse as soon as I went home. So 4 o'clock in the morning, Christmas morning, Caribbean household. Yeah. You walk in. Wife's waiting for me. Kids are up. They're excited about Christmas. And I look through my door. So I've got like a frosted glass on my door. So clean through, I've looked at a Christmas tree, which is obviously lit because it's late at night. And I'm thinking, this is mad. Bust the door up and can smell the seasoned meat for the next day. All the food's laid out in the kitchen, ready for the next day, all prepped and stuff. I'm saying to myself, hang on a minute. These people don't have, and my house is abundant with food, with presents, with warmth. Things I didn't even appreciate instantly mattered. Taking out a set of keys and putting them into a door. This is mad. Then I've taken my bike and I've gone through my house and I've looked at one side of the wall from the Christmas tree down, full of presents, and I'm saying to myself, right, this is dead. And my wife's like, what's wrong? I'm like, I don't feel good, man. She's like, why? Like, you did it. You went and you hit your target. You fed 150 people.
It didn't feel right.
That ain't it.
Yeah.
And you know what? I just got my PS5. And even that, I found it hard to play. Like, I found it hard to unbox presents and do what I'm doing. And, you know, obviously I function because of my kids and stuff. But I just felt like despondent. Even when the food hit the table, Christmas Day, I'm like, oh, this is mad. You know? And Caribbean household, they love to cook. You know, and to see that abundance of food there, like, I'm like, what is this? You know, what I'm getting is these flashbacks of hands that I've been giving food to, or faces I've been giving food to, and it's like, this ain't right. Like, this is not right. So I battled with that, and then literally Boris Johnson releases the tier system. That's when shit really hit the fan for me.
So just to interrupt you there, before we get into that. When I wanted to ask you a question, and I'll just listen to that, and obviously if you've got any questions as well, you can ask. But with the amount of people obviously that are suffering now, where you look at what I find hard to watch is, for many years, and I said this to you on the phone earlier on. If it's a scheme for homeless people, if it's a scheme to prevent or to cut down crime, or if it's something else, why is it that when change only comes when it's the community that actually raise money that they don't have, spend hours of their time unpaid to change stuff? Why can't the government do it when they get paid to do that? They have the money to do it. And they have the hours because that's their job.
I'll be real with you.
Yeah.
The reason why change doesn't happen through the government is because usually, 9 times out of 10, when you reach government level, you lose empathy. You don't have that empathy no more to hit your community and help them. You know, as an example, I'll give you someone like David Lammy. Yeah.
You've been on him for yeah.
Bruv, listen.
You've been on him just
He's
for those.
He's been Tottenham's MP for 21 years, rude boy.
Just to interrupt you. Just for people that don't know, David Lammy was the guy who just ran for London Mayor, wasn't it?
No.
Who's that? Which one's the one?
That's Sean Bailey.
I thought you were shouting him out. My bad.
No, not even. Well, I was shouting him out.
Yeah, you was, innit? Yeah, you was. Yeah.
Bruv, he come with a madness and said that all homeless people can afford 5k mortgages. Bruv, are you having a laugh?
My head hurts. I got a headache.
5 grand. Now, I'm not being funny. If a homeless person walks into a bank with 5 grand,
they'll turn them away.
On the parents, where did you get the money from?
Yeah, 100%.
That's a whole different drama.
Yeah.
How did you think? How did you go to bed and wake up one morning and have this bright idea that homeless people can afford a 5 grand mortgage? I don't get it. But anyway, I'm not even on him no more because he didn't even win. Yeah, so he can just stay there. Yeah. But David Lammy, 21 years MP. Okay. Here's an example. If I employ you in a job, right, and your contract will tell you that the job you've taken on, try not to do anything outside work that's going to impact your working hours. So how can you be the shadow secretary and a president on LBC and MP for Tottenham? It don't work, bruv. Yeah. You're becoming despondent from us because our age group don't even know what you are.
Yeah.
Do you know when I shouted him out, and I said to him, like, you need to come on a run with me, do you know how many people messaged me and said, I didn't even know he was at MP anymore. Baffed.
Has anyone responded to you yet? At all?
I've had an email from him.
What's he said?
What, sorry?
Bro, it's not even any point even giving him airtime for this.
Wow.
Like, do you know what?
Was it more of a just excuses, but I can't come because of this and that? No, in so many words.
It was one, do you know, it felt like a copy and pasted email. But then towards the end, he started talking about vaccinations for homeless people. And I'm like, how did we get to that? So I just didn't bother.
Before we worry about vaccinations for homeless people, you have to ultimately worry about them being there to receive the if that's what you want to do, you need to worry about them being there to receive the vaccination. So being fed, not dying of like freezing to death, starving to death. If you want to push that vaccination kind of angle on them, no one's going to be there to take the vaccination if this issue isn't solved. I remember doing sorry to interrupt you, but we done a podcast before with Savage Dan and he said something in the podcast, and he said we was talking about the vaccine and all this sort of stuff, and then he said one thing to me, and it made me think, like literally, you know, they spend all this money on the vaccines, they spend all this money on a cure. You look at the billions that's been put into it. You know, we won't even go into who profits off of that because that's a whole different podcast. But he said the one thing that costs is just food and water, easily fixed, is starvation. And that is one of the biggest killers in the world.
Yeah, of course, come on.
Do you know what I'm saying?
But like, you know, Haringey as a whole, which is the borough I'm from, they're doing mad work.
Yeah.
Like literally, they are on it.
Mm.
You know? But a lot of things I've learned in the past couple months, like, this is going to sound mad. I don't bring homeless people food. Sound mad?
Why?
Alright, so I'm going to ask you a question first, yeah?
Well.
Straight question to both of you, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to feed a homeless person, what would you give them? Paolo, you can answer first.
I'd probably give them something hot.
Alright, cool.
Like, as in, so you know, like if you was to go get, well, it depends where I am.
Alright, if you saw someone outside Tesco's, what would you go and buy them?
Sandwich,
That's
crisps, drink,
Cool.
something, or mate, tin food as well.
Yeah. Alright, watch this.
Go on.
Okay, watch this. For 365 days per year, we pick breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whether we're on a shoestring budget or a 6-figure salary, we still choose.
Yeah.
Yeah. But why is it when we go to help homeless people, we always want to give them sandwiches or give them things that we don't even know if they want? So if you think about the population of people that go to help a homeless person, everyone's first point of call is a Tesco's meal deal. Everyone's first point of call is something that's reduced because all they're doing is fixing their own gratification. We don't know their allergies. We don't know if they're lactose intolerant. But then when we go to give them the sandwich, we get that term, beggars can't be choosers. That's where that comes from, bruv. So me, how I pattern my thing is I bring my bank card, ask them what they want to eat, and I buy them their food, bruv. It could be a pizza, it could be a doner kebab. I don't give a shit. I'll buy it for them. Because you know what? In terms of people that are helping them, that's what they're getting sandwiches. Imagine you're getting sandwiches for 365 days per year, breakfast, lunch, and dinner all the time.
Yeah, it's not good. Mad.
No,
Like, when's the last time you consecutively bought a sandwich to work every single day?
Never.
It gets boring, fam.
Yeah.
It's dead.
Yeah.
So imagine every time someone comes to interact with you,
Do you want a sandwich?
cheese sandwich, coleslaw sandwich, ham sandwich.
Yeah.
Christmas, it might get spiced up. You get a little cranberry sauce in your sandwich. Bro, I can't be asked. That's not my vibe. I can't.
That's a fair point.
That's
a fair point, right. To be honest with you. When you think of it like that. So,
some of them homeless people that will ask them money. Would you give them money instead?
All right, here's the next thing.
Go on.
Yeah. This one's gonna fuck you lot up. I don't know if I'm allowed to swear in there, but listen to this one. Yeah, you can.
Do what you want.
Football's coming to England, yeah? Yeah? Let's just put this in play. Your TV's broken. Payday ain't coming for the next 2 weeks, but you don't want to miss the match. You bop into Argos, got good credit. You sign up, 24 months interest free. Yeah? You take the TV home, you plug the TV in, you got 24 months, no problems. You don't have to give no money to Argos, nothing. What's Argos doing for you with that agreement? They're helping you out monthly, innit?
Yeah.
Because you can't afford to go and buy that big 55-inch TV.
Yeah.
But it's funny. The same people that won't give a homeless person money are the same people that's running these finances and having these schemes in their yard.
Raw. Interesting. Okay,
So imagine, fridge freezer popped down. You got 2 kids in your house. You can't afford to go and get a fridge freezer. So you go into Curry's, you get your fridge freezer, it gets delivered. You're good. School runs are running, packed lunches, putting in the fridge, you're good. You got to see a homeless person. As soon as you come out of Curry's, knowing that your fridge freezer is going to be delivered, you don't have to have that burden on your shoulders no more. But imagine, someone who has a burden just for food is in your face asking you for help when you've just got finance agreement, but you dismiss them. How does that make sense? It doesn't.
No.
It doesn't.
Okay.
And you know what? Another spin as well. If you're going to spend £3 on a meal deal, or £3.20, whatever it is now, why not ask that homeless person, say, look, you know what? I don't have much money, but I've got £3 I can spend on you. Let them pick. They might pick a Lucozade and a box of grapes. You don't know. But
it's
give
a very,
them that
very,
choice.
very good point. I think anyone that watches needs to take that away and just listen to what Verrall said. I know we haven't spoke a lot, but you need to take it in. It does, you make a very good point there. Two good points, to be fair, with the money and the food. You don't look at it like that until maybe someone tells you and nudges you, or, do you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, it's crazy. I mean,
to spin you on that last point, before I forget,
go on.
Yeah, majority of the population don't give homeless people money based on the fact that they think they're going to substance abuse or have alcohol,
Yeah.
Okay, so it's quite funny that last year, approximately 85,000 drink driving offences happened during lockdown. So what does that show us? 85,000 different occasions, police stopped a car, breathalyzed them and realised they were drunk and intoxicated, or under substance abuse. So that's telling us that potentially, remember, homeless people nightly is only about 5,600. Yeah. So we've got 85,000 people divided into 12 that have been committed offences. So these are people that can afford to run a car, put petrol in it, pay for tax, pay for payments for the car if it's on finance or whatever. But we're going to scrutinise a homeless person for drinking when we're doing far worse because we could have caused casualties and killed people. That don't make no sense. We haven't even looked at how much we're costing the taxpayer for A&E incidents from being drunk and disorderly, or even what the police are paying to be doing these arrests and the manpower they have to put in. But we scrutinise these people for being homeless. How many people during Christmas have crashed out on sofas and have been drunk? But we scrutinise a homeless person because we see him drunk in the doorway. He can't hide himself.
Yeah, that's true.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Fucking
crazy. I mean, that last point I know and I agree with. That last point I know.
But a lot of people think that though, like, oh, if you get their money, think they're gonna get drugs, but how you broke it down was actually on point.
I was saying, you have someone that will buy a flipping 6-pack of Corona from fucking Tesco's.
Yeah.
Come out and say, no, you can't have no money for alcohol, but you've just bought it. Why are you so much better than him?
Yeah.
Why are you the king out here? You're not.
Yeah.
Just to touch on something as well, because I think that was a very, very, very good point. I seen something else you was doing in, I don't know what borough it was in, but you've got a credit account with a chicken shop.
Yeah.
Now the idea of this is that homeless people can go there, say your name, and put it on then
tab,
on your tab, and you pay it off.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Wow. What borough is that in?
So that's in Haringey again.
How long are you doing that for?
That's about a month now. I've done something else mad as well though. I patterned a dry cleaners. So I patterned a chain of dry cleaners.
You patterned dry cleaners? Wait, so
homeless people go there. So basically I got these cards, and I literally, when I go out on my runs and I meet them, I give them a card. It's like a coupon, basically like a currency, and they take it to that dry cleaners with the information on the back, and they get the clothes washed for free.
Fucking hell, bro! You're doing bits, bro. That's mad.
That's the way it's got to be. For this thing to change, it can't be replication. It
Why?
has to be innovation.
Do you know what annoys me though? And like the work you're doing is great. The thing that really annoys me about this is you're doing all of this off your own back. Bearing in mind you've got 2 kids, you've got a wife, you work in a school full time, correct? Yeah. So you do all of that, and this is your essentially spare time, right? Not that you look at it like that, but essentially it's your spare time. So, bruv, it's like I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, you've done all of this. You've patterned the dry cleaners. You've patterned a tab on a fucking restaurant for people. How are the government not doing nothing? And I know what you're going to say, but it just baffles me.
Okay, so this is the bottom line, and this is what we need to take in. Everyone listening, they can't vote. So what interest do they have in them?
Yeah, fucking hell.
They don't have addresses. Although they're not making it public that homeless people can actually sign up to the job centre and use their address to get their benefits.
What's that?
So homeless people can use a job centre's address to gain benefits, but no one is telling them that.
Wow.
Yeah. But again, they can't vote. That's part of the problem. And do you know what?
And do you know what? Yeah, sorry to interrupt you. I know why he said that now. Because they can't vote, essentially, they don't matter because they don't matter to the government at all because they can't vote.
No. And do you know what?
Can they vote if they use that as his address, like a job centre or?
Bro, I'm not even sure. Like, I'd be lying if I told you, but they just can't vote, and that's part of the problem. And you know what? Part of the problem is, especially with human nature as well, is, all right. So, you know, like when we have protests and stuff in central London, outside Parliament or whatnot, the body of people that turn up are based on what their environment is involved in, you know. So us as man them, you know, if it's a Black Lives Matter protest or that's involves us, so we'll go to that type of movement, right? But when you have things like Palestine and stuff, it just depends on the environment you're in, if that's an interesting topic for you to go. Yeah. Now, homelessness, regardless of where you've grown up in life, you know it's wrong. Yeah. But what does countries like this teach us? It teaches us to be based on debt. It teaches us to be in this rat race of how can I outdo my neighbor. When I was younger, back in the day, we used to have house parties. We used to have all the kids from around the area in our back garden chilling and whatnot. Yeah. But as we've grown up, we've become despondent from each other. Okay, because we're all about self. It's who can pull up in the car, or who can have their kid dressed the best at a party or something. It's a completely different ball game. You know, it's not about having a group of people and collectively bringing them all up at the same level. And I think this is what I'm trying to push in my movement. It can't be a situation where we've forgotten about a lost community within our own communities, because our communities are actually broken. Bro, I'll be real with you. I could tell you about 10 people I drop out my phone book now for a homeless person. You know? Because you know what? I'll be real with you. I remember going out to a run in Green Lanes, which is in Haringey, and someone from Facebook telling a homeless person where I was, and he read down to me in Green Lanes, from Hackney. And I remember the homeless person there, because he's always on Green Lanes, him giving his food that he had in the restaurant, because the restaurant owner always fed him. I remember him taking his food for the day from there and giving it to the man from Hackney, because I just bought the stuff for the other guy. They love to pay it forward. They love to look after each other. But you put a household that wants to look after someone else, it don't happen. Everyone's despondent from each other. Like, I can't remember the last time I said good morning to someone and they didn't give me a funny look. And that's what we're in now. You can't even say hello to someone. You know, and that's the thing. I think it really is a situation where we've become, it's the norm. It's the norm to see a homeless person. And it should not be the norm to see a homeless person. You know? It shouldn't. And I just don't get why do you know what? I can only talk for myself, but me personally, now I'm in it and someone shed light on it, for someone to kind of listen to the message I'm putting across and still have their empathy turned off, like, you've lost your soul. You've blatantly lost your soul. You can't not listen to what I'm saying to you and think to yourself that you can't do something about it. You know, 100%. Because there's no household that doesn't have anything to do with finance. Even a 6-figure salary person will have a mortgage. Everything's financed. And if you can get those finance agreements, sometimes those finance agreements are a difference between you and Carcraft getting a Fiesta or something, or catching a bus.
Mad. Yeah, 100%. I agree with you.
So where you're getting a lifeline from a company, but you won't give someone else a lifeline that's going to cost you far less than your payments, I don't understand it. Like, it confuses me, bro.
Everyone works differently, innit?
Has anyone... Yeah, it's crazy because...
Everyone thinks differently.
And correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know if this... I know you've done interview before on radio.
Yeah. I've done 4 now.
Huh?
I've done 4 now.
You've done 4 interviews? Yeah. Wow. So, in terms of... in terms of, like, your exposure now, just before we end this part of the podcast, what's your plans? What's your plans now? But Is there anything you know once lockdown sort of opens up again? Is there anything you're looking to do? I know you're looking to do something for the community thing. I can't remember what it was. I've seen it online because I seen you do one before. Was it cleaning up a skate park or something?
Yeah. So there's a skate park I'm going to be working with. Not a skate park, BMX track.
Yeah.
That I've been working with, and that's just to try and get a body of people that are in that environment. Like it's a little alcohol and stuff around there, so it's just literally cleaning it up, getting a better vibe in there and whatnot. And you know, if you've got a social media platform, you should be pushing for positive stuff for your end.
Do you know what? That runs in your family, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's got to be said at some point.
Yeah, it does.
You and your brother, both.
You need to get my brother on there.
Brother, you need to hook us up because he's in.
Yeah, he's doing his thing, man.
Yeah, he's doing his thing. For those of you who don't know, Farron Paul, this is his brother, who runs separately, and it's to do with taking away knives. Yeah. But essentially, giving them to, I think, recycling them, giving them to the. Is it recycling them or gives them to the police or hands them in?
Yeah, he hands them in. Yeah. And he's got some other stuff that
he does as well. Yeah. So for you, you must get this a lot. And to be honest with you, I know you, he knows you, so we don't look. Maybe someone else that doesn't know you well, obviously might not know that. But for you, is this like from the outside looking in? This looks like something that is just your family, are just the way that you guys are. Even your partner and your kids. I remember seeing a post about your daughter doing something for someone that was homeless, and even someone that young. Yeah. To think that now, but that's the change you need to see. Do you not think, Donovan?
Sorry, I zoned out. Sorry.
He's just dreaming, bro. He's listening.
I zoned out listening.
That's all right. No, it was just saying because of him and his brother.
Yeah.
That you know,
I think it's a situation where, like, you get to an age where you realize that screaming postcode and screaming your ends don't mean shit if there's people starving or in problems in your ends. That don't make no sense.
Yeah, go on.
That's a whole nother thing.
But it's a good point.
Yeah, but bro, look, okay, I'll be real with you.
Go on.
Tonight, after this, I'm gonna go to Ladbroke Grove. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I've been Hackney late at night. I've been Leighton late at night. I've been Walthamstow. I've been Stratford. I've been Broxbourne. Yeah. I shouldn't need to go to these ends, fam. Yeah. And when I go to these ends, I'm seeing them on posted.
Yeah.
But then I'm seeing people needing help. I don't get. So what are you protecting? Because technically, if you're protecting your ends and you're looking after your ends and you're making sure no one has a cut through and no one's coming through your ends, look after your ends then. It's that simple, fam.
It is, but they're not thinking like that. They're just thinking,
this is the reason why I go to other areas, because if a man sees me on Facebook or Instagram to say, "Raw, my man's coming to my ends to feed people, bruv," like, bro, that's a G check in itself, fam.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah.
Like, imagine you lived Streatham or wherever, and you see me post, I'm having to come to your end because someone's called me out through social media to say there's someone vulnerable that he needs a sleeping bag, or someone slashed their tent, or someone's beat them up. Yeah. I'm driving to your end.
Do you know what? I'll be honest with you, but I get what you're saying. And with regards to that, I mean, I don't know if this is because of just how much this guy's exposed online in terms of the stuff he does. The only person I know who does that I've watched is probably Nines, for the area that he lives in. And how
do you know what? Nines is a prime example of how it should be, bruv. If you've got a way out and you've got dough around you, grow your ends, fam. Back in the day, that's what gangster was, fam. Yeah, you were pulling up in your area, you were giving out food, you were giving money to kids that were walking past to go and buy school books. That's what gangster was. Gangster was not rapping about it or rapping about things that don't exist. That was gangster. You were making businesses for your ends. You were doing what you were doing. That's what it was back in the day. But now, as I said, it's all about self.
Yeah.
It's about self-appearance, about what you can do for self and who you choose in your team to bring with you. That's what it's all about. And it needs to get back to basics. The reset button does need to be hit. And you know what? Like, in a mad way, like, I do have them come through my Instagram that are from other ends and saying, "Yo, V, like, when you're in my bits, come back me, like we'll do something. And that's what I mean. They all know, everyone knows that they should be doing this because we all are attached to this homeless thing. We do know it. You know? It's just like when Nathan and when Ashley messaged me and were like, and even Femi messaged me like, do you know what? I've got some stuff to donate. Because we all have that feeling. Doesn't matter how you're brought up, you know that it's wrong.
Yeah.
It's that simple, bro.
Yeah, I think on that note, for this first part of the episode, there's a lot to take in. But yeah, really good. Thanks for coming. Yeah, man, wow. Just take it in. Take it in. That was unreal. That's probably one of the deepest ones we've done so far, to be fair. Yeah.
I zoned out as well. It's mad. I was listening
Donnie
to
was
shit, bro.
Donnie was thinking about Yardie tunes, bro.
No,
on a lighter
not
note.
every but
But we'll talk about that in part 2 anyway. But yeah, make sure you follow the socials. Check out our guys' socials first if you want to shout them out.
Yeah, so my Facebook is Verrall Paul Walcott and my Instagram is C86ERZ.
Yeah.
That's it, really.
That's it. And then for us, it's Waffletop Podcast for Instagram, Waffletop PC for Instagram, and Waffletop Podcast for SoundCloud, Spotify, and YouTube. The link is in our bio where you can click on all 3 and get direct links to our channels through that. And yeah, like I say, just keep on subscribing, keep on liking, and keep on sharing us. Tell a friend to tell a friend. But yeah, that's it, man. Thanks for watching.
Man, appreciate it.
And we'll see you on the next episode.